There are truths that are not buried because they are unimportant. They are buried because they are powerful. Your father carried one of those truths. For years, silence sat at the center of your family like an unspoken rule. Questions were avoided. Details were blurred. Certain names were never mentioned. Certain memories were treated as if they never existed. But silence does not erase truth. It only delays its voice. Tonight, that voice is rising. Archangel Michael says, "The hour of revelation has arrived. Silence will no longer protect the past. There was a decision made long ago in your name, not with your consent, not with your awareness, but with intention. A paper was signed during a moment of urgency, when fear outweighed faith and protection felt safer than honesty. Your name was written clearly on that document, ink pressed into paper with finality, and with that signature, a timeline shifted. This was not a casual agreement. It was not ordinary. It was not temporary. It was a covenant tied to your identity. Your father understood something about you before you understood it yourself. He saw potential that frightened him. He was told that your life would not follow a simple path, that your name carried weight, that your future would intersect with influence, responsibility, and power, and instead of preparing you for it, he tried to delay it, not because he doubted you, but because he feared the cost. Your father believed that postponing the truth would shield you from danger. He thought time would soften the impact. He believed silence was mercy. But silence became a barrier, and the truth, heavy and patient, waited. Years passed. A drawer remained unopened. An envelope aged quietly. A secret stayed alive. Even your mother never knew what was kept inside that old brown envelope marked only with initials. It still exists. Paper yellows, ink fades, but intention does not dissolve. The purpose of that agreement never expired. It only waited. Your father met a man in secrecy. There were no phone records, no written correspondence, no witnesses, only meetings held under dim lights. Hands shaken quickly, voices lowered instinctively. The man wore a brown coat and a gold ring that never left his finger. He came 3 times. Each visit carried more weight than the last. The final meeting changed everything. That man told your father something that shook him to his core. He said you were destined for something different, something that would place you in rooms others were never meant to enter, something that would require authority, leadership, and spiritual resilience. He warned your father that this destiny would draw attention, both divine and human. Your father was given a choice. He could allow the timeline to proceed as intended, or he could delay it. He chose delay. He did not cancel the gift. He postponed the moment you would receive it. The world kept moving. You grew older. Life unfolded with its usual struggles and distractions, but somewhere beyond what you could see, time paused. A contract remained active, frozen in expectancy, waiting for the rightful bearer of the name. You, Archangel Michael says, you were always chosen. The crown was not removed. It was hidden. You may have felt it throughout your life, a sense of being slightly out of alignment, moments where things almost worked but didn't, opportunities that came close but never fully opened, connections that ended without explanation. This was not failure. This was delay. The cabinet holding the truth has begun to shake. The paper has aged, but its authority has not. The purpose assigned to your name still stands. And now, the person meant to find it has been called. The man who once met your father has returned. He is older now. His hands tremble. His hair has turned silver. His voice carries urgency instead of confidence. He knows his time is limited, and he knows the promise must be fulfilled before he leaves this earth. He asked for you by name. He carries the final surviving piece of that agreement. He knows where to find you. He knows you have awakened spiritually. He knows the timing is no longer negotiable. 3 locations are connected to the deal: a bank, a house, a field. Each one holds a fragment of what was sealed. Each one carries proof. Each one exists outside coincidence. You may have had a strange dream recently. Perhaps it involved your childhood home, or a room with green wallpaper, or a hallway you haven't seen in years. That was not imagination. That was memory pushing through time, resurfacing now that resistance has weakened. You may begin to feel a shift in your body, pressure in your chest, a tightening in your stomach, a sense of anticipation that has no clear source. This is not anxiety. This is activation. Energy that was once sealed is beginning to rise. Someone close to your father knows part of the truth. They have kept silent out of fear of your reaction, fear of consequence, fear of disrupting what they thought was settled. But now they are slipping. Drawers squeak more often. Folders fall without explanation. Conversations trail off abruptly when you enter the room. These are not accidents. Your father once stood at the edge of a river holding a sealed box. He considered throwing it in, ending the story permanently. But he couldn't. He hesitated. He walked away with tears in his eyes. That box did not only contain paper, it held proof. Proof tied to your name and someone else's resources. Proof of a promise made and delayed. A woman was involved. She loved your father once. She withheld something she should have revealed. By the time regret came, the ink had already dried. Now she is trying to reach you indirectly, through dreams, through unnamed letters, through subtle signals that feel oddly personal. You will feel the pull. Do not ignore phone calls that end in static. Do not dismiss letters without return addresses. Do not overlook strangers who hesitate before saying your father's name. The spiritual realm is aligning to bring the truth forward. Archangel Michael says, "The lie of delay is breaking. No more postponement. There is a ring your father kept. You believed it was sentimental. You were wrong. It was a symbol of covenant, a marker of authority, and it belongs to you. Someone is already traveling to return it. You may not trust them immediately. They will speak carefully, almost cryptically, but when they mention a nickname only your father used, you will feel confirmation ripple through your body. That is your sign. An old safe will be opened. Inside, a name you have never heard will appear. That name belongs to the individual who funded the agreement. They are no longer alive, but their family is. And they are searching for the rightful heir. That heir is you, not by bloodline, by divine intention. Hidden files are being accessed. A vault marked with 3 numbers, your birth year reversed, will surface. You may feel pressure in your chest again. This is not physical pain. It is remembrance. Your body aligning with truth. Someone once tried to cross out your name and insert another, but the original record still exists. The universe does not forget what belongs to you. Your father cried the night he signed the delay. He believed he was sparing you. He prayed heaven would one day make it right. That prayer was not ignored. You are the answer to it. Watch how things begin to align. Emails arriving unexpectedly. Old contacts reaching out after years of silence. Doors reopening that once seemed permanently closed. This is not coincidence. This is restitution. An old friend of your father, possibly named Elijah or something similar, still holds the original copy of the promise. They went silent after your father passed, but silence has become unbearable. They will send a brown envelope. Inside will be a letter in your father's handwriting. You will recognize it immediately by a small symbol, a cross or star, next to your name. That symbol was his apology. There will be an address inside that letter. You are meant to go there. The place will feel frozen in time, dusty, still, heavy with memory. But when you step inside, something will feel right. A safe, a chest, a locked container will be waiting. The key will be hidden nearby. under a floor tile, inside a plant pot, behind an old shelf. When it opens, your hands will tremble, not from fear, from recognition. Those who once tried to keep this from you are watching now. Their silence is loud. Their influence is gone. They built comfort on your delay. Now the balance is shifting. Archangel Michael declares, the sword of truth has been lifted on your behalf. The next 3 days may carry unusual signs, repeated numbers, familiar names appearing unexpectedly, songs that feel too precise to be random. Record everything. These are codes unlocking what was sealed. Your bloodline was marked for breakthrough. Jealousy began before you could walk. Someone feared who you would become, so they interfered early. Now they fear your return. The silence is ending. The contract is reactivating. The inheritance is returning. Not just material wealth, but voice, authority, legacy, identity. You were never meant to live small. You were hidden, not forgotten. And now your name is being spoken again, with power,